Today, do I wish we didn't need a workplace bullying video anymore? Of course I do. Unfortunately, though, this topic still comes up on a regular basis when I'm doing team coaching or leadership training, working inside companies. There's varying degrees of bullying, but it's there. It has not gone away. So it takes a lot of effort and intention to create a workspace where those kind of behaviors, the ones we're going to talk about today, are no longer accepted, and that there are repercussions or consequences for bullying your coworkers, and that this is just number one video in a whole series of workplace bullying videos. So there will be another video on what, if you are being bullied, what you can do or shouldn't do to deal with the bullying. And then we're also going to have videos on what is not considered bullying, which is important to know as well. And then videos on what bullying can do in the workplace, what it causes, and another video on what managers and leaders or corporations themselves can do to be preventative in this fight against workplace bullying. So today we're going to go over a whole list of examples of what can be considered workplace bullying. Number one, and I think this is really, really obvious one, is not spreading lies and rumors about a coworker. Don't give information to other people that is not yours to give. Everyone should have this steadfast rule. Don't talk about people when they're not there to defend themselves. We never know the whole truth about somebody else's story. It's not ours to tell. And when you are telling lies or rumors or gossip, it is a form of bullying, and you need to pay attention to that. It's really important. Number two, again, this is another behavior that's a lot like how it was in high school. Don't leave people out of things. Don't leave them out of social events. Don't have everybody going out for lunch except one person. Don't do things after work and leave one person out. Don't be sitting in your office and it's like a secret club and everybody is speaking the same language and talking in this kind of riddle where it makes another person feel completely out of the loop. That is bullying. When we at work make people feel insignificant, when we make them feel like their job isn't important, that they're useless, that they're not valuable, that is bullying. Using intimidating words, threats, intimidating body language, getting in somebody's face, using your finger, pointing at them, standing above people, taking up their personal space, that is all bullying. Any acts of intimidation whatsoever, anything that poses even the remote hint of a threat is bullying. If you're a manager and you keep changing guidelines and expectations and switching deadlines and making things more and more impossible for people to reach whatever it is you're setting for them, that can be considered bullying. When there isn't a good reason for changing somebody's role or their title, or you take away their responsibilities without a good reason, without a fair explanation, or you keep changing the rules of the game and changing timelines and deadlines, that is bullying. That is you telling that person you're shoving them out. When you withhold information, when you act secretive, when you give out the wrong information, you set people up to fail. And when you do that, that again is an example of workplace bullying. When you make somebody the butt of the office jokes, when you think it's just fun, it's not a big deal, we're just bantering back and forth. If you're actually not bantering back and forth and everybody's in on it, you're bullying. When you're just picking on a person and critiquing them and criticizing them and embarrassing them, they might sit through it because they don't know what else to do. But I am telling you, that is bullying. When we pick on people and we pick on their vulnerabilities or their weak spots, that is bullying. Do not make one person in your office the butt of a joke that everybody else participates in, and this person is tolerating it, is not the same as them going back and forth with you, having a really cute little banter back and forth. It's not the same thing at all. Read the room. You know when you have a friend or a colleague that both of you can be sarcastic back and forth, and it's a really trusting feeling and it's fun. You've got to be careful, because that is not the same thing as making fun of somebody and them not retaliating or just smirking or giggling because they're uncomfortable. We need to be a lot more careful about this in the workplace. Again, if you're a team leader or a manager and you keep giving one person the crappiest jobs to keep them busy, that can be considered bullying. It's unfair treatment when everybody else feels like they're part of a group, but we keep shoving one person aside and giving them crappy tasks to keep them busy. That is not acceptable. When we belittle somebody because of their opinion being different than ours, or we criticize their opinion, when we show disrespect in any way, when somebody just has a different opinion than ours, that is bullying. It's completely okay for all of us in a room to get along, to be friendly, to be respectful, and not necessarily share the same opinion on everything. That's okay. That's what makes life interesting. But when we belittle people or criticize them for their opinion that might be different, that again can be bullying in the workplace. When we block somebody's ability to achieve, when we block somebody's ability to better themselves, when we only give opportunities to certain people to advance their skills or to take extra trainings or to send them on some workshops or skill building activities, when we only do that for a certain amount of people or a certain group of people, and we leave others out of those opportunities, that is bullying. It's not okay to present only some people with opportunities and not others. We need to be so careful as managers and team leaders that we really give these opportunities to everybody on our team. We at least make them available to everyone, or everybody has a fair chance at applying for those opportunities or working for those opportunities. We need some kind of measuring stick so that everybody knows, okay, if I want to go on one of those extra trainings or those special trips or educational opportunities, what is it that I have to do to be able to earn those things? And everybody should know the answer to that question. I think this one goes without saying, but telling offensive jokes or any joke that could be considered offensive when we're picking on a group of people or a religion or culture, sexual jokes, these things are just inappropriate and they're not okay at work at all. We need to remove those, and we have to have some rules around what's okay and not okay. We just don't want to take any chance that what we're saying could be offensive. So just keep things really simple. If you have a doubt or this little gut feeling, something that's like, maybe I shouldn't say it, don't say it. Trust your instincts. If we do not put boundaries in place for how much we think we're allowed to push people to give us information. So when we invade somebody else's privacy by pushing them and pushing them and pushing them to give information that they are not openly and willingly wanting to give, that is bullying. When somebody says, I don't want to talk about something, please stop. When they're not offering you information about a situation, don't bug them. If you think they might need support, then just say, listen, I don't know what you're going through right now. If you ever need a safe place or a person to talk to or a set of ears that can listen well, I'm here for you. That's it. That's the most you need to say. Do not pry. Do not spy on people. Do not dig for information. This can go all the way up to people who stalk another human being. This is serious stuff. We should not be pushing for information that is not being willingly given to us. If we're not being entrusted with it, we shouldn't be digging for it. If someone is being blamed at work for things they did not do, and people are painting this one person to always be at fault for a deadline that wasn't reached, something that went wrong with a project, if we're blaming one person and they end up punished and it's not fair, again, that can be considered workplace bullying. If they go above you or they go and talk to their union or managers or leaders, if they are being unfairly punished, and you're part of that activity, that can be considered workplace bullying, that we're leading to somebody being unfairly punished for something that is not their fault. If you tamper with another person's workspace or their computer or their books on their desk, their bags, their briefcases, their backpacks, you rifle through their drawers, any of these things can be considered workplace bullying. You do not have a right to touch other people's belongings or go into their space and invade their privacy. It's just not okay. Sending any kind of threatening email or text message is bullying. It can be a hint of a threat and it will be considered bullying. Cannot threaten people. If you sabotage anybody else's work, that is a bullying behavior. If you purposely set somebody up to fail, that is bullying. Just for a quick summary of what bullying is. Bullying can be an isolated event. It can be also a repeated set of behaviors. Either of those situations can be bullying if they in any way are meant to offend somebody, harass them, isolate them, humiliate them, embarrass them, threaten them in any way at all. That is all bullying. Just to summarize what bullying is, bullying can be an isolated one-time event. It can also be a repeated set of behaviors that happen. They can be to threaten somebody, to offend them, to humiliate them, to hinder their progress or advancement, to isolate them, to leave them out, threaten them. Any of these things can be considered bullying. In part 2 of our video for workplace bullying, if you are bullied, you will be given tips on what you can do and what you should not do if you are bullied at work. So please stay tuned for video number 2. It will be very helpful if you are a person that is being bullied at work. We will also explain what is not bullying, just so you have all of your information and can really discern if what you are going through is in fact bullying or harassment on any level. And please, if you are witness to any bullying at work and there's anything you can do or a safe person you can go talk to about this, please advocate for your fellow coworker. Sometimes people are so scared to speak up for themselves or they don't know what to do. If you see it, number one, don't participate in any way. Bullying only stops when we work together, when we as human beings stop allowing this kind of behavior to happen. It's the only way it stops, when we take a stance and say, this is not okay. Please keep an eye out for the other videos. I am very passionate about doing whatever I can to alleviate these bad behaviors that are out there in the workplace.